Good morning, everybody. Now, today's class we are going to study the next concept is ions. So, please all of you keep reading ions. Now, before going to study ions, let us discuss about the atom a little bit more so that it is easy to understand what is ions. Okay. Now, as we know that, who is the smallest particle of matter? Anybody? Who is the smallest particle of matter? All of you? Atoms. So, smallest particle of matter, as we all know that it is called as atom. So, atom is the smallest particle. Till now, you can see from the beginning of the chapter, we are studying that who is involving in the chemical reaction? Who is involving in the chemical reaction? Yes, please. Is
Atoms are involved in a chemical reaction.
yes. So atoms are the one who will always involve in the chemical reaction. Now let us discuss before going to study ions. We need to know little bit more about atoms. So that is what. So it has been found that this atom is again made up of. As we know, the smallest particle of matter is atom, and this atom is made up of again a small subatomic particles. So you might be all knows by this time what is this subatomic particles. So the subatomic particles which we used to call, basically there are three. So that atoms, every atom of an element is made up of three subatomic particles which we used to call as electrons, which we used to call as protons, and another one we used to call as what? Neutrons. Do you understand all of you? Yes, please. So now, if you take here, electrons is having 1 unit negative charge. 1 unit what charge? Everyone? All of you. Negative charge. Same way, protons is having 1 unit positive charge and neutrons having no charge. So that is why you can see atom is electrically stable. You might be noticed, I will say you. So what is the reason means? So always if you take any kind of atom, all of you remember why atom is electrically neutral. The question will arise. Why atom or atoms are electrically neutral? You understand? Now, let us explain. For example, if we take hydrogen atom, what is this atom name called as? Hydrogen atom. Now, which contains one electron and one proton. So, one negative and one positive, both are balanced or not? Everybody? Yes, please. All of you. How about it? Please.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Suppose if we take oxygen atom. Oxygen atom. If you have taken atom, I am saying oxygen atom. So the which contains 8 electrons and as well as 8 protons. If we take carbon atom contains 6 electrons and 6 protons. Like that, if you take any kind of atom, they always contains equal number of electrons and equal number of what? Equal number of protons. So that is why atoms are electrically what? Electrically they are neutral. Do you understand everybody what I am saying? So because of every atom is having equal number of electrons and equal number of protons, the atoms are electrically neutral. Are you clear, Mitakshri? Any doubt? Harish? That is. So now, when this atom either lost the electron or it will gain the electron during chemical reaction, then it will become not electrically neutral. It will become into a charged body. So let us discuss that also very clearly. So now you read the answer. Why atoms are electrically neutral? They'll ask means. What is the reason behind what you people will say? Why the atoms are electrically neutral? Because they are having what? They are having. Please respond.
Same number of electrons and protons.
That is what. They contains equal number of protons and electrons, and hence atoms are electrically neutral. Right. Normally, an atom contains equal number of protons. An atom contains equal number of protons. An atom contains equal number of protons and electrons and electrons and electrons. Hence, atoms are electrically neutral. Atoms are electrically neutral. Now, so observe very carefully. In this, some atoms will lose the electrons and some atoms will gain the electrons. So now, let us discuss this point very clearly. So all of you observe very carefully. When any kind of atom, listen first. When any atom losses electron, all of you should remember, losses electron, it gets positive charge. What charge it will come? It will get the positive charge. Now, for example, for your understanding, anyhow, again we will study, but I am saying you now itself. For example, sodium atom. Sodium atom. What is the atomic number? Anybody can tell me sodium atom? Yes, please. 11. What is that? 11 electrons it will be having, and which is equals to 11 protons. So now atom is neutral or not, charged or not, neutrally charged or not, everybody. Yes, please. So this
Yes, sir.
is electrically neutral. Do you understand, everybody? Electrically neutral. Now, if the sodium atom is involving in any reaction, basically sodium can lose one electron, so that it will turns into sodium plus one ion. Let me see what is that one. So one means you don't need to represent. If you write even plus means it is indicating one, but if it is two you should write two. So how it will be? Observe. So they will lose one electron. By losses one electron. So now tell me, atom to ion, one electron gone, means how many electrons are there in ion? Anybody? How many electrons
10
are there? 10 electrons are there, but still who is not changing? Who is remains constant? Protons are remains constant. Now if you notice it, in this 10 electrons is equals to 10 protons, but how many protons is extra here? How many protons is extra here? One proton is understanding. So one positive charge is extra. That is why the sodium ion having how many positive charge? How many positive charge? Yes.
One
So one positive charge is extra. So that is why it is coming positive. Is it okay, everybody? Clear?
Yes, sir.
So by losses electron, it gets positive charge. That is what you have to write it. Next. And when any neutral atom and when any neutral atom gains electron, any neutral atom gains electron, gains electron, it gets negative charge. It's get negative charge. Okay, everybody. So we will study about these electrons, protons, and neutrons in the next chapter actually, because there only we'll get structure of atoms. So now that is why we are not much mentioning more about these things in here. Just we are saying negative charge. Now negative charge means, let us see that. For example, all of you, if we take chlorine atom, all of you observe very carefully. It will be having 17 electrons, which is equal to how many protons? Anybody can tell me? 17 protons. So that it is electrically neutral. What is that, guys? Electrically neutral. Do you understand, everyone? Now, this chlorine atom will turns into Cl minus 1 or Cl minus. Both are same. So how means are, it will gain one electron. Gain one electron. So now you tell me, gain one electron means number of electrons how many? Ashwin Balaji, Johan, number of electrons turns into how much, guys? 18 electrons, which is not equals to, still protons will never change. 17 protons, because protons is always remains constant. The atom of an element divided by the number of protons only, because number of neutrons and number of electrons can vary in an atom, but who will always remains constant? Everybody? Protons.
Newton.
Understanding? Protons. Protons number will never change. Understand, Abhirami? Ion or atom doesn't matter. Number of protons is always inside the nucleus, center of the atom, so that they will always be remain same. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So now 18 electrons equals to 17 protons means 17 electrons is equals to 17 protons. But still how many electrons is extra? All of you? One electron is extra. That is why chlorine is getting minus one. I hope now you understand or not. I want to know the response. Clear?
Yes.
That
Yes,
is.
sir.
So all of you remember now, by lost the electrons, it is getting what charge? Everybody, by lost the electrons, it is getting what charge?
Positive charge.
Positive charge. By gain the electrons, it is getting what? Negative
Negative.
charge. So that is what this, whenever the atom will lose or gain the electrons, so it will turns into what? Atom or ion? Everybody? Ion. Do you understanding? Whenever any atom will lose or gain the electrons, it is called as ion. Do you understand, all of you? Please respond. So, write the definition. The charged species obtained by the charged species. The charged species obtained by gaining or losing of electrons. Gaining or losing of electrons by an atom is known as ion. Is it okay, everybody? Yes, please. All of you.
Yes, sir.
Now these ions are two types. So ions are forming by two ways. Anybody can tell me what is the two ways they will form ions? One is by losses electrons, and the second one is what? By gains or receives or accepting electrons. Accepting electrons. Do you understand, everybody? So by loss electrons, it will turn into what charge? Positive charge or negative charge? Positive charge. Okay, that name of that positive charge we used to call as cations. What is to call, Hari?
Cation.
Cations. Same way, by gains or receives or accepting electrons, it will turns into negative charge. Negatively charged. Understand? Means this is only called as anions. That is what you have to remember. Are you clear, all of you? Yes, please. Any doubt? Anybody can ask. Harini, Arun, any doubt, Arun? Gokul?
No, sir.
Okay. So that is what it is. So please write it. So now, as I taught you in the last class, two things you might remember. Now, one is by or receiving by donating and receiving electrons. Receiving electrons, molecules will form. Molecule will form. So these bonds and these one we used to call as ionic compounds. What compounds we used to say? Ionic compounds. So that is why always the reaction like a metal combined with a non-metal. Do you understand, everybody? So you will get the what kind of compounds? Ionic compounds. What compounds, everybody? Ionic compounds. All of you should remember. A metal plus non-metal will react. So who is the donor? Metal or non-metal? Donor. Who will donate the electrons? Mr. Omar? Who will donate the electrons? Yes, please. Who will donate the electrons? I'm asking. Metals or non-metals? Please respond.
Non-metals.
Non-metals, not metals. Metals always will donate the electrons. Please remember, donor. Donors are metals and receivers or acceptors are non-metals. Are you clear, Abhirami? So,
Yes, sir.
the bond formed between them by metal and non-metal combined, that is called as ionic bond. Okay, everybody? Now, all of you observe, these ionic bonds are formed by oppositely charged anions. Understand? Made up of oppositely anions. You can remember. So, opposite OPP, So, oppositely charged particles. Means in the sense of, we will combine cations plus anions will combine. So that is what it will form the ionic compound. Means metal will donate the electrons and non-metal will, what will happen? Receives the electrons or accept the electrons. So that is the reason the compounds formed by metal and non-metal, we used to say, what is the compounds names we used to call as? Gokul, Akilan? Ionic compounds. That is what you have to remember. Next, if you notice, a non-metal combined with another non-metal. Do you understand, everybody? One non-metal, when non-metal combined together, then the covalent bonds are formed. So whenever you want to get the covalent bond, remember covalent bond, no donating, no receiving, only by sharing. We will study, no worries. Only by sharing electrons Understand? It will produce, it will form the bond. So that bond is called as, what bond we used to call as, all of you? It is name called as covalent bond. Okay? And here, both with like a mutual understanding, both they will share the electrons among themselves. So that bond is called as covalent bond, and this compounds is called as covalent compounds. Is it okay, all of you? Yes, please. So I'm giving 2 minutes time. Please, all of you ask me if you have any doubt. Please let me know. Otherwise, we'll proceed with one by one. Any doubt? Anyone? Complete it. Mitaksri, understand Mitaksri? Kaushik, Arun, Nimish. So, non-metals and non-metals will combine. They will form a weak, always it is. It's not even strong. A weak compounds, that is what covalent compounds will say. So now, if it is reaction between metal and non-metal, then the accepting and receiving electrons are ready so that they will form ionic bond. So the bond is also very strong, which is formed by this. Ionic bond is stronger enough than covalent bonds. Is it okay, everyone? Priya, Harish, Umar, that is one. Now, first ions. What is the first ions? We have to study. Check it, everybody. Cations or anions? Yes, please. Cations or anions? Check it here. Positively charged. Which ions? All of you.
Cations.
Cations. So keep heading. Formation of cations. Okay. First finish it. This one. Metal plus non-metal ionic compounds. And now metal, sorry, here you write. Covalent bond, both non-metal plus non-metal. Complete it fast. Okay, any doubt, Aklan?
Sir.
Omar? No.
Yes, sir.
Keep it all of you. Formation of cations. Formation of cations. Cations means what? Charge, positive charge or negative charge?
Negatively charged.
Great. Cations, ra.
If positively charged, sir.
That is
Positive.
main-
Cathode is negative, sir.
Yes. That is different. That is electrolysis process. So now keep reading, all of you. Formation of cations. Formation of cations. Again, class 10th also it will come. Be very careful. Formation of cations. Cations means it will lose the electrons or gain the electrons. All of you. Yes? Lost the electrons or gain the electrons? All of you. By
Lose electrons.
lost the electrons. By losses electrons, atom turned into positive ion. Are you clear, everybody? So now, if losses electron means somebody should receive or somebody should accept the electron. Can you tell me who will donate the electron and who will receive the electron? Yes, please. Who will donate the electrons?
Cations.
Cations. That is what metals. So when metals combine, please write. When metals combine with non-metals, with the non-metals, then who will give the electrons? Metals or non-metals?
Metals.
Metals. Then metals give up electrons and non-metals receives the electrons. So this metals only you can see. I will highlight it. So then metals will give up electrons, and that is why these are only called as, what we used to call, guys? They are only called as cation.
Cation.
Yes or no? So as they are getting the positive charge or negative charge, what charge they are getting? Positive charge. That is why these elements are called as electropositive elements. Please write it. Electropositive elements means the elements who will get positive charge, who will ready to donate the electrons, is called as, what is another name, Hari? Electropositive elements. That is what you have to remember. Is it okay, guys?
Yes, sir.
All of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So please, electropositive elements. So example, sodium lost one electron. Example, sodium lost one electron. To form sodium ion. So sodium ion means what ion it is? Cation or anion? Divya, Abhirami, it is the cation. Understand everybody? Yes, please. Now, shall we discuss it, all of you? See that how it will be happening. So sodium lost one electron. Remember, loss means I will represent the electron in product side. Is it okay, everybody? Keep in mind, loss means electron should be represented in what side? Loss electron represented in what side? Represented in what side? In product side. Okay, so electrons are represented in product side means it is lost the electrons. Now let us see how it will be happening. So basically, sodium atomic number, you might be not studied till now, but I will say you. So this is the sodium atom. What is this actually? Sodium atom. And what is this one? What is this one? Sodium. Say
Ion.
only, say sodium ion. Now observe, sodium atomic number is 11, means it contains 11 protons and how many electrons? How many electrons?
11
electrons. So that is what you have to remember. So it is having 11 protons and 11 electrons it is having. Now, if we'll take the sodium ion, can you tell me how many electrons and how many protons are there? Sodium ion. Protons are still 11, but number of electrons become how many? 1 electron gone. Number of electrons become 10. So now, let us draw the structure so you'll understand, but you will study that one in the only next chapter. So, but still we'll try to study. So now, center of an atom, who will be there? Nucleus. Who will be there in center of the atom? All of you?
Nucleus.
Nucleus will be there. Okay, everyone? Now, Actually, you might be already studied some of you already class has started. So center of the atom is nucleus, which basically contains protons and neutrons. Protons and neutrons is having. Okay, together called as nucleus. Now, surrounding by that, atoms are always in spherical in shape, and electrons are revolving in the orbits. So this is the sodium atom which contains, later you will study neatly, no worries. First shell is having 2 electrons, second shell is having 8 electrons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And see that here, 2 gone, 11 minus 2, now minus 8 gone. How much is remaining? Check it, everybody. How much is remaining? 1 is remaining. So that 1 electron is present here. That electron only donating. So now this electron, once you can see, if it will lose this electron, then nucleus, then first shell, and only second cell is present. No third cell is present. Why anybody can tell? Why anybody can tell one third cell? Because electron is removed. One electron is gone. So no other electron is there in this shell. So that electron is not there, shell will be disappear. So it will be having only 2, 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 electron. So now this one, what is electrons? We are arranging 2, 8, 1. And what is electrons here? Anybody can tell? 2, 8 alone. Have you noticed it? When metal turns into ion, number of shell is decreasing. Here totally how many cells? Count it and tell me. 1, 2, and 3. But here how many cells? You should tell me. 1 and 2 only. So that is what I want to exactly teach you. Very, very important. Metals will turn into positive ions by loss electrons, and one shell will decreases always. One shell will decrease by loss of electrons. Is it okay, guys? Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
That
Yes,
is
sir.
the point. You all should remember and make it. So by donating electrons, one of the cell is decreasing in ions. So now sodium is donating how many electrons? 1 electron, and it will turns into positive charge. It will turns into positive charge. Is it okay, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So please write. So before 11 protons are there and 11 electrons are there. After that, 11 protons are remain same, but electrons become 10. That is what you have to remember. So this is only, so that is why sodium is having what charge? Positive charge or negative charge? Positive. Because one proton is still remains extra in the sense of probably present. So that is what we will say. So number of electrons changes into, okay, 10. So one proton is imbalancing. So that is why it is positive charge. I hope everybody understand formation of cation. Anyone having doubt, ask me. So by loss of electrons, number of shells will decrease or increases? Everybody?
Please.
Decreases. One shell. This is what we used to call as shells. So number of cells will decreases. That point you have to note it down. Completed? Everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
That is you have to remember. Okay. Next. Now, here one important thing I will teach you. So remember, if you want to remove, for example, all the boys are standing like by closing their hands together, holding their hands together. If you want to remove one boy from that line, you need to spend some energy. Is it yes or no? Everybody? Yes? Same way here, if you want to remove the electron, any electron, 1 or 2 doesn't matter, from the atom, definitely some energy is needed because a center who is present, everyone, center who is present, nucleus is present. So nucleus always will exert some